I'm glad you held accountability. Say that you was a fuck girl, which I was. Please don't come back out, girl. We don't need you in this world anymore.
It's not the fuck girl.
We don't need her. That was a hurt woman. Welcome to When Two Heriveaux Heal podcast.
Brought to you by not only our generational trauma,
but also by our generational strength and joy. Come take this journey with us as we choose to live our best life and heal. Welcome. Hello, hello. Welcome When Two Heriveaux Heal podcast, episode 3. I'm your co-host, Rose Laura Heriveaux, and I have my co-host, Saida, Sai the Creator.
I'm your co-host, Shy the Creative. It's nice to be here. It's nice to see you.
Hi, boo. How's it going?
It's good. Things are good today. The sun is shining.
The sun is shining for real.
Yes.
Yep.
How are you?
The sun is shining today. It's been a long week, even though it's Thursday. I'm good. The full moon has kind of dissipated. We're finishing the roundup of the Leo full moon.
Ooh, that's why.
Energy is on high tension. Yeah. Sometimes I don't remember we talked about the first episode how certain holidays or certain things trigger you and you don't know why. That's how I feel about the full moon.
Yes.
So I'll be so emotional, whether it's good emotions or just like heavy emotions. I'll be like, why is it so intense? And then if I sit back, I'll be like, oh, it was a full moon, or Mercury will be on retrograde forever.
Yes. I saw this post. This girl said that she takes off for every full moon. It was like 3 of them. Every full moon, every something moon, and it was 3 different moons. But imagine taking off every full moon.
I'm here for that. Even like being a female, I used to sign up for, and plus I used to have bad periods, but it used to fall on full moons, or new moons, whatever. My cycles, and I wasn't functional. I would be crampy, my head hurt, so I would take those as my days off. And I'm like, I don't need to be around people if I'm not feeling good. So when I was younger and had heavy cycles, I would do the same. Yeah.
That's smart.
It's a lot and it's draining. And then to have to be around people sometimes is just too much that you can't even put together.
Yeah, too much energy to maneuver.
Too much energy. And then the universe is... Huh?
Because the world does not stop.
It does not stop. That is so true. Well, I have to always tell you, my co-host, my girl, that you look fantastic today.
Thank you.
I love
it.
You
do too, with all your red accents.
The pattern, the earthy tones, I'm still loving it a lot.
Thank you.
What's your necklace say?
Jayla.
With the butterfly?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that. That's so pretty.
Thank you.
That is so pretty. We'll talk about Jayla another time. Whenever she comes up. But that's a heart. That's her sister. Rest in peace. Yes. I love her. Our angel. Yes. We have 2 big angels. My mother and Jayla, for sure. Yeah. Yes. So, welcome everybody to all of our listeners and everybody that's tuning in visually on all of our platforms soon.
Yes.
Welcome. Today, the topic of today will be hurt people hurt people. Yeah, we don't know how this is going to roll out, but we're going to just let it roll out, especially since we know that the energies are on high. We're just, going to let it be however it be. We just go with the flow here on this podcast. Let's start with our word of the day.
If you're enjoying this episode and want to see more of the podcast, make sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Two Heriveaux Heal. That's TWOHERIVEAUXSHEAL and become part of our healing community.
episode you chose the word of the day, and then this episode. So we kind of go back and forth with choosing the word of the day, but we choose the word of the day of the session of our recording. So it could just be more authentic and just like you said, just real.
Yeah.
The word of the day is going to be called trust. It's called trust.
Trust.
Trust. Very loaded. I feel like we're dissecting loads of laundry each episode. Last
Yeah.
time was loyalty, and episode 2 is loyalty. This episode is trust. So if you want to go back and listen, to what we thought about loyalty. Do you want to go first about
No,
it?
you go first this
Do you want me to
time.
go first? Okay.
Yeah, I went first last time.
You're right. Okay, so trust. It's very loaded for me. Um, yeah, trust for me is up there with safety and security.
Mm-hmm.
And um, if I can't trust you, I don't need you around my vicinity. Like, if there is a lack of trust that happens, my red flag goes up immediately, and that's on anybody. Um, because then your word, your action is not bonds. And so what the hell's you got? What do you have to offer me if you can't offer me the basic,
Mm-hmm.
which is trust,
Yeah.
like your word? Um, I've had a lot of trust issues, and I feel like I had that baggage loaded on me at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, from I can go back to like obviously the my earliest recollection is being 5 and 6, between that age, and not having trust for my babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at that time, that age frame, which was going on for more than a year, probably till maybe 6.5, 7, but I was molested by my babysitter husband.
Mm-hmm.
And from that age, and even not consciously knowing, subconsciously, it already had me at a defense mode
Mm-hmm.
with trust, trusting humans, people, adults. Um, then that will open other cans of worm on how trust has been broken in several relationships and friendships and stuff. So to me, I really have to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And trust comes with all relationships, like friendships, family relationships, your partnerships in business. Like if you can't trust your business partner or people that you're endeavoring, career wise, I don't know, you know, what you stand on. If you can't have that trust, like if somebody can't trust you, you really can't stand on anything. Like I feel like your character is very flawed if someone can't trust you. Um, so yeah, trust is very, very much a high standard in my book for me to have you in my circle. And then for me, I hold myself in that standard for trust. I want to be worthy of your trust from with the things confide in me. I want you to trust my actions if you're present or not present. I want to be able to trust myself in that too. So, um I lead with that example. I'm not perfect, but I trust myself to lead in integrity in that matter.
No, thank you for being so vulnerable with your share.
I know. I don't think a lot of people know that information either. I'm not going to details in that one, but that is where I recognize my first flaws in trust. Like people, and then it could go into hurt people. But go ahead, your take on trust, baby.
Yes, trust. No, I can remember the first time I had to deal with trust, and I was actually on the shysty end of it, like that's my first recollection of trust. Um,
Ooh, that's deep.
yeah, and I always felt like growing up that was the worst thing I ever done. Like if somebody asked me what's the worst thing you ever done, I could always be like, this is the worst thing I've ever done. And it
Mm.
was really, it hurt me in the end because hurt people. But like I stole my best friend's boyfriend and he ended up traumatizing me like in a way for the rest of my life.
Oh wow.
So it really was a lot. But when I think of trust now, I think of like self trust
Mm.
because if I can't trust myself, who can I trust? Just like
Right.
you're saying. So if
Oh,
I,
that's such a good flip that you
you
just
know what
said.
I'm saying?
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
is both ends, and I definitely have my place of where I wasn't trustworthy for certain things I chose.
Right, right. So I felt like I wasn't trustworthy. But lately, I've been keeping small promises to myself. And they say that's how you build trust with yourself to know that
Mm.
you can conquer things and just to regulate your nervous system, you just keep these little promises to yourself. So I'm learning how to trust myself.
Yeah. No, and that's such a good point that you said. Because I do believe in um people becoming reformed. If you really are putting the work into it and really want to make that choice, I believe that. But you unfortunately have to show those steps of people reintegrating you back into the situation or however, because you
Mhm.
have to show that you're worthy, you're changing, and you're a different person. You're moving differently. So that's pretty interesting and deep as hell. Do you want
Yeah.
to go a little bit into the story without names? Like, do you feel like it was two different parties that made you make a decision to?
Well, first of all, I'll say I was 14
Oh,
and
girl. Okay,
this
so
was
we
like
gonna
my
forgive you.
it was like not even in high school.
We gonna
It was
forgive
the
you
summer before
and the
high school.
girlfriend. Like,
And it was my first boyfriend. It was like the first time I had ever got male attention. So, but the real tea is that I didn't even care, but he had like three girlfriends. I was like one of three girlfriends and I didn't even care. So,
that
yeah,
is
it was
so
just messed up
hilarious
all
because,
around.
first of all, we're not bashing our men, but when the male species do not do the work, you continue to hurt people. Look at that.
Yes.
So funny. So I have several kind of stories and we could like piggyback, but we're gonna go with the relationship part. Not that I stole my girlfriend's man. Here's the tea.
Yes.
I was older, so I definitely knew better. I had already had my daughter. I had already been separated from my first marriage. So I was like in my 30s. Um no, late 20s, early 30s. What happened was,
Mhm.
and you could call me out because this is the first time I'm sharing this in a public thing because we're breaking down trust and we're breaking down hurt people hurt people.
Mhm.
Wow. My BFF at the time um had her partner, her lover, and I used to always hang out with them. Third wheel always. I'm so respectful like when it comes to a partner. If it's so weird like if you're not really for me, I'm not looking at you. Like, yeah, I could see a handsome person, a handsome man, or even a beautiful woman, and be like, oh, gorgeous or whatever. And if they're in a relationship, there's something about my integrity that's like shut down. Like, I'm not even
Mhm.
trying to go there, whatever. But what happened to the story is that one time we were left alone, her partner and he hit on me.
Mhm.
And so, that being said, I ran out of there, called her immediately, and like, I'm leaving your house. I don't know what's wrong with this one, but he is moving differently and pushing up on me. And like, it wasn't like, oh, by the way, he's little flirting. Like, he's like really coming in hard. So immediately that conversation was like, oh, I know why he's doing that. Yeah, he is attracted to you. He has had conversations about us doing extracurricular activities together, but they weren't on the page yet.
Yeah.
And so he was taking the matters on his hand
Hmm.
to go above the situation.
Right, right.
So I nipped it on the bud that time. Then we know water under the bridge. Years happened to go by, maybe 2 years. And then the situation, the table changed where she initiated a situation where the three
Hmm.
of us rendezvoused at the bar around two.
Right, right.
So I have to make light of this situation because I need you to tell me what was Auntie sis, where did you go wrong? Because this was been years ago and now I'm addressing it because I'm ready. Um,
Hmm.
so it happens where we were having this menage a trois situation, and it was always respectful. It was always us being together at the same time, whatever. A night happened and they broke up at this time. Let's fast forward to years. They broke up, and I continued having sexual engagements. And so
With,
that with the
with,
part with him
oh,
and with
okay.
her, but separately.
Okay, that's what's the tea, girl?
First of all, I want the listeners to know, if you're God fearing, you do not judge in this platform. We
No.
are sharing, caring, and healing. So
Mhm.
God judged me, and that's it. And I judge myself, but
God accepts you. I
God
accept you.
accepts
The
me. And
listeners
this is
accept you.
literally let's grow from what this happened. So I broke trust, and I held myself accountable recently, actually last year. Um my best friend at the time, we had stopped talking, but after her finding out, and it was through him because it happened a couple of times, then it stopped because I was really starting to talk to other people, and he was not really going to be my man. He was
Hmm.
just what we did. Like, it was a, you know,
Sneaky link.
sneaky link, and it was like, oh, you're somebody that I like to go smoke and chill with. And so then it became that part of the package, but it was not like I'm trying to take this person from my girl.
Right,
But
right.
but this person, the partner, had Pandora's box up the wazoo, other
Hmm.
women, other shit, and I'm not outing people, but a lot of baggages that he had transformed into energy for me, for my best friend at the time. So it was like, this nigga knew what he was doing, excuse my French. And so the influence of certain people that can make you flex out of your
Yeah.
real pattern of behaving is a real thing. And
Hmm.
so I had to live with that, and I had to hold myself accountable and excuse myself of that behavior. And this is no lie. This is like 2025 that I had this closure conversation with my old friend at the time in regards to this, because I broke trust and it did hurt her. We stopped being friends because of it. And then it was just time that had to pass for me to come and ask for forgiveness
Hmm.
and hold accountability for my behavior at the time. Because, I mean, however you cut it, we were close enough for me to still be like, yo, I'm still getting some D from him. Because it was not like we were that transparent and open. So I don't know why I wasn't open on that part.
Hmm.
And we didn't go into details about certain things, but all I know is that she was just like, yeah, it hurt me. And I'm glad that we were able to um just address that you hurt me. Like, I'm glad you held accountability, say that you was a fuck girl, which I was. Please don't come back out, girl. We don't need you in this world anymore.
Is that the fuck, girl?
We don't need her. That was a hurt woman.
Right, that's my thing. So I know I've been hurt, and it sounds like you've been hurt before, but how
Girl.
do you prevent yourself from hurting other people? Because I think about this quote, hurt people all the time. And I try my hardest not to hurt people because I know that I've been hurt. So I'm a hurt person.
Mm-hmm. You know what it is too? When you're not in your ego and you could be really transparent with yourself. First of all, we're not perfect, right? So it is about the one choice. And certain choices could be influenced, not not could be, but are influenced by other people's influence too. Um, Drugs were a high factor of that. Alcohol was a high factor of that. Not to excuse it, but those entice certain choices that are not that healthy
No, for sure.
because you're not coherent in this. Not that I wasn't coherent, because I enjoyed at the time, I'm not gonna lie, the experience, but when I saw the longevity of like the spiral of how it ended up, I
Mm-hmm.
am not proud of that.
Yeah.
So it is to be cognitive of it. You have to just be literally aware of the behavior patterns of you, passing the baton of your pain to somebody else.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes just like if you're in a vulnerable state of mind too, um your vulnerability and your can make you vulnerable enough to hurt people too, because you're just in a, I don't know the word, maybe you could help me, like a naive state of mind, maybe. If maybe the
Mm-hmm.
word naive, maybe not, but when you're in a space where you're vulnerable and you can be easily influenced, you're in a neutral place, like where, no, not neutral, but more on a sad place where people can kind of manipulate you and,
Manipulate.
yeah, and puppet you into their circle. Because you have to remember, we're all in everybody's movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You make somebody
Yeah.
the main character or you stay the main character.
Yeah.
And
And
there was
they
a
have
lot,
to be the main character in their movie. So it's like we're all co-stars at this point.
right, right. And I didn't take that episode and and make me the co-star, because my higher self wouldn't have behaved that way. I would have behaved like I did in the beginning.
Right.
Like when I called him out and said, "Oh, this is, by the way, what he did." And then she approved or didn't approve, and then later we end up doing it. I should have kept up with me leading that way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your standards got changed. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to say manipulated because it's like all three people were consenting adults, but your standards kind of changed mid situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. Yep. And then I had to catch up with my mask. Not that I was hiding, but it was just not my portion. It wasn't gonna be
Mm-hmm.
who I wanted to be. Like, girl, I could have any man. I don't want this man. As a matter of fact, this
Right.
man is actually giving me a lot of bad negative energy because he's sleeping with other women too. And even
Mm-hmm.
if we were protective or not, it's still energy exchanging.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I'm starting to hurt other dudes. Like,
And then the thing is, he wasn't even your choice. He was her choice. So that is not even your man. Like
period. That wasn't my man in the
I would
first
have
place.
picked better. I'm
Right,
just
right.
no shade to her. Oh my goodness.
No, and thank God, moving on to better things, she
hmm
has found real Prince Charming.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is part of my story, girl. So I don't give up. I don't give up.
No,
But that is where I
relatable.
knew one of the times that I dropped the ball with trust.
hmm
Yeah. And that I hurt, somebody that I really cared about, and not intentionally, because of my ego
hmm
and self-pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you for healing with us. Healing in community is what we're all about. Email us at twoherivauxheal@gmail.com. That's the number two, HERIVEAUXS heal@gmail.com. Send us your listener questions, healing stories, or any tools you may use on your healing journey. We'd love to hear from you. I've experienced something a little bit like that. I don't want to go into too much detail,
Yeah.
but like,
We're not saying names. Like you have to whoever hears and it does resonate, they mean they know the thing, but we not saying names.
they
So
say a hit dog hollers.
right, period. Oh my gosh, I
But
can't.
like when it comes to that, it's like, yeah, I didn't even. So for me, it was like I wasn't even trying to get with him. He was just the package deal. Like I was trying to get with her. So it's like,
Low key, that is ends up the situation. I loved her until I didn't even know that I okay, just finish.
yes, no,
But it was on
facts.
her. Period. I was
And
ready
then
to come
they're
out and be
just
like, but
there.
I'm in love with you.
They're just collateral damage. But honestly, like alcohol had a big part to do with it. So I was always like blackout drunk every time it happened. And that's when I had to start thinking like, do I have a drinking problem? Because this only happens when I'm drinking. So
Mm,
right now I'm in my sober era. I'm in my
mm,
celibate
me
era
too.
because like I'm at a vulnerable place right now in my life. So I don't want to bring people in. And then, like you said, me being not manipulated in like a malicious, not with malicious intent, but like just me molding to somebody else's life. I don't want that right now. Like I'm just in my energy. I want to understand my energy. Like I don't want to incorporate somebody else in my life. So now this is my era for celibacy and sobriety so that
Yeah,
I can trust myself, learn how to trust
I
myself.
love it 1,000%. And I am joining you with the celibacy part. I've been celibate for a year and a half now. So July of this year will be a full 2 years without
Okay.
the
Uh
yes,
huh. And how
and
do you
without
feel? How
oh
is
my
your
God.
relationship?
I I needed it at one point because I that was part of my purging of like transforming who I really see myself in the mirror, and I needed to cut all ties with every person I slept with,
Mm-hmm.
and celibacy was the only way to do that. And just like you said, my body needed to reboot, my mental needed to reboot. I haven't gotten to the sobriety part, but I have limited myself to having red wine because that's what I like to have, and pushing it more towards the weekend than a daily thing,
Mm-hmm.
because drinking was a part of um, drowning my sorrows.
Mm-hmm.
And so, nothing in the world should have control of you. So I recommend, even if you try, you know, sober weeks or weekend or sober January, sober, what do they
Mm-hmm.
call it?
By
Dry
January.
January, dry January. Whatever you need to do to show that you're not tied down to something, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Give your body, give your mind a point to reset and to function without any substances, but your natural substances, because
Yes, we'd be surprised how effervescent we are even without alcohol and drugs, especially at this big age. Like, we don't really need the social lubricant like we think we do because we're old enough to know how to talk to people.
I always take notes when you say something. Social lubricant.
Yes. And
So
I
good.
just want to shout out this resource that I found. They're called Sober Black Girls Club. And
Ooh.
it's like a recovery meeting for all substances. Whatever you want to recover from, you can come to these meetings. And they have different meetings throughout the week, but they meet every week or every other week, depending on what meeting you're going to. And they help me a lot. I really like going to their meetings. And it's
I
virtual,
love that.
so you can be anywhere.
Yeah. I really love that. I feel back in the day when I used to be like, oh, here, that people be like, oh, I'm in AA meeting, and I would be like, that's so judgmental and low key judgmental about it, and be like, oh, you don't have your shit together, blah blah blah. But it could show up in so many different aspects in your life, not only in alcohol, but drugs, sex.
Hmm.
Um, you could be promiscuous and that become an addiction.
Hmm.
Um,
They
you could be
even
an
have,
addictive liar, an addictive
yes,
thief, an
they
addictive
even have
like
Codependence Anonymous. So it's not even always something as harsh as a drug or alcohol.
right.
Yeah.
No, that's really good to point out. So me saying that was it could be anything that you are fixated on in a negative way that can, need you to be pushed in those type of sobriety or AA kind of connection. And I love that to hold yourself accountable and have a group setting do that for you is
Mhm.
good. And so what
Yeah.
do you take from it? What do you like when you first started? Like how was that for you?
So what I learned from it is we've been like dissecting why we drink, and that's like the biggest thing. Like I've been thinking about like why I drink, where I learned how to drink, what does drinking do for me, like why do I keep drinking, all of that. Um, and one thing, like, we think of people hitting rock bottom, like alcoholics, one way, but you can even be like that wine mom who just always has a glass in her hand. But it's like it comes in all different types of form, all different socioeconomic classes. Like, it looks different for a lot of people. But also, it has its patterns and it does tend to look the same. Because I know that once I learned what blacking out was, that's when I had to stop doing it. But I would like one drink was never enough. I always needed like two or three drinks because I drank to feel drunk. I didn't just drink for the taste or anything.
Social or taste, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm drinking to feel that feeling of getting drunk. So I was never just having one drink. I was having like 3 to 5 drinks. And I would drink it too fast and I would black out. Like even though I always believed drinking responsibly, so I always like would have a full stomach so I wouldn't throw up, but still
You
like
weren't
I
coherent.
was just doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like not remembering what I did the next day. Like now in sobriety, it's nice that you never wake up with a hangover. I can say
Mm.
that.
That's so tea. That's so true. A
Yeah.
matter of fact, you wake up with a higher vision of like yourself.
I always know that I didn't embarrass myself the night before.
That's a great point. That's such a great point. Um, Tying that in with hurt people, um, substance abuse and just like certain things that you were doing to black out, not necessarily black out in physical form, but black out your chatter, the jack, like we were
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
before. You're trying to black out certain things that you don't even want to be in reality for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
you have
I've
to,
No, I've always felt that way, like a duality of being in the present but not feeling present in my mind. So I
mm,
always felt like I would be in some type of future version of myself, which I never knew what it was, and I was never really working towards it. But I just always knew that my present wasn't it for me.
real. It wasn't
Yeah,
what you want to sign on for. Like you're going through the
absolutely.
motion, but you're not co-signing this right this second.
Exactly. That
It's a
part.
season, and I totally understand what you're saying. You're like, oh, Sybil, or like not even like my third personality. You're like, girl, bad girl. I'm gonna let you enjoy this moment, but this is not the
Yes.
full story.
Yes. I
Yeah.
always knew that I would mature in a different type of way, but I just knew, like, this is the real tea. I always knew that I would be able to be myself one day because I
Mm,
wasn't really being myself to the fullest extent. I was kind of just surviving my circumstances. And I'm
mm,
still waiting for everything to catch up so that I can
absolutely.
be myself, but
Right.
I'm on the journey to myself right now.
Same. Oh my God, I love you for that. That's so perfect.
Yeah.
Same, same, same. I'm like dittoing everything you said, and it makes that's a tool, because everybody is not gonna. Your future self has to give your. This is what I heard, and I
Ooh.
totally believe it. And it's like God gives you the choice, but your future self, because you made a covenant to come in the space where God wants us to be here on earth, to make it. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience. So you're giving, your future self is giving you tools only if you are, your future self has the freaking tenacity to live your highest life. So that's one thing too.
Yes.
You have to make the choice to want to know your future self, because it's all happening all simultaneously, but waiting to be combined in the 3D. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
I've
not a
been
lot of people believe
listening.
that. Okay.
No, I've been listening to the Manifestation Girls. So I think another tool, what you're hinting at, is belief. Like you have to believe that you'll be in a different reality. Like you have to believe that you're gonna make your dream or
Shift
get
it.
to that destination. And yeah, you have to believe that your life can be shifted and that you will shift your life. And I think that's the tool that I'm using right now. Is like I believe that things will get better. Do I know step by step how it will get better? No, but just the fact that I believe it, it leads me to each step for it to get better. See?
Tea and clocking it. Clock it. Like piggyback on what you are saying, honey. You gave yourself in the future, your future self gave you clues to find in the midst of the darkness, in the midst of you exploring, and in the midst of you being exposed to people's reality versus yours. You gave yourself clues to keep loving yourself to get there. And so that's why it's a constant like paper trail for the blueprint, following where your highest self is. So your soul told you to trust yourself. Because at the end of the day, to be honest, this is where the answer has to lie within yourself, I believe. Everybody has a choice to, choose their higher self. But because the journey is literally so strenuous, so real, so hard, so challenging, like I don't want to water down the amount of challenge that it is to choose the right road of your higher self,
It
because
takes years.
it takes years, and it takes tenacity to literally, not only resilience, but it's tenacity. It's like, bitch, I really want my higher self in this lifetime,
Yeah.
whether, or like, we're gonna fight for it, and whether
Yeah.
I die in my last breath, I'm still gonna attempt that walk. And it's not easy, and just like you said, it's a daily thing, but your soul contract new with the covenant of the Most High that you are going to experience your journey in a abundant life through God's plan.
Yes.
And that is a big hug for you,
Thank
a
you.
big hug for choosing yourself. That's self-love there.
Yes. So when it comes to codependency, I definitely understand that to a T as well because I was not always choosing myself. I was like muting myself, shrinking myself to please other people. And the thing about that is that people are never pleased. So I'm on this treadmill trying
Wait,
to please people.
wait. Rewind selector. Let me get a DJ Ipa here. People cannot what?
I'm out here pleasing people, but people are never pleased.
Period. People are never pleased.
Yeah.
You're going to drain your blood for somebody else that's never going to be satisfied. They're going to keep wanting your blood until you're sucked out of it. That's the
And then they're
point.
gonna be mad at you for being nothing. Then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because
You
it's
ain't
like
preaching.
you shrink yourself to be around other people, and then once you're shrunken, they're like, yeah, see, I told you I'm better than you or you're nothing. And that's
Let me
a hit.
say,
Yeah, it's a hit
I'm
to your
teeing that. That's
self-esteem.
clocked
Yeah.
100%. That is so true, 1,000% true. And let's elaborate on that, because you're saying codependence. I'm saying people pleasing for me.
Mhm.
And I could be everybody's hype girl. But
Mhm.
then when I needed that energy reciprocated for me,
Yeah.
I was always humbled down. My light was always like, oh, let me turn it, dim down this light. But they didn't know the light was only going to be abundant for everybody. But
Mm-hmm.
just like you said, people are either competing or scared of how you're moving with your light, want to dim it down or see it before you see it because you're still navigating out of your hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so true. And then you can never please people because what do you say? They're
They're
never
never
satisfied.
pleased.
They're never
Never.
pleased.
Never satisfied.
That is so good. So, how did you come up with navigating through that? When you realize that you can't people please, you're choosing yourself
Mm-hmm.
and you want to live in your highest self, but right now you're going through shedding
Mm-hmm.
moments.
I did. I had to shed people because I'm a Leo and you're a Virgo. So we have like really big personalities. And I know you personally. So it's like, I know that you believe there's room for us all. So it's like, you don't have that secret shade or anything. And I'm a fire sign. What's a Virgo?
Earth sign.
Earth. See, I rock with earth signs.
And I
But
need
like,
fire in my damn life because it's too rigid. Like
exactly.
I'm too much by the
Fire
book.
and earth go well together, but I was around and attracting I was attracting a lot of water signs and I'm like, water signs are trying
Ooh,
to put out my fire. And I'm like,
wow.
I didn't realize any of that until I learned what my big three are. They're all fire.
Oh,
So
wow.
I can't be around water. It's really detrimental to my
Dimming.
health.
Yeah. You know what's so funny? People that don't believe in astrology, it's okay. We're not here to um force you into any thinking that we think. We're just sharing in this
Yes.
podcast tools of life for us and how we're, navigating through it and how it's helped us and stories. So please, when we say earth signs and all these astrology things and it doesn't resonate with you, like that's far fetched from you, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can, you know, not have that belief. But in reference to our conversation, I believe because we're made from the earth and the elements that God has all around us has to play hand in hand with this is what I believe. And you co-sign that too. Not a lot of people believe it, but you, long story short, and putting aside elements in astrology, you have to surround yourself with the same people that think like you. Not necessarily think like you, like, oh my God, you guys have to have the same belief and morals. And like, I don't want you to be my robot, but you and I feed into each other like tennis. Like, you say
Mm-hmm.
something, then you feed me, and it's fruitful for me, and then I'll say something and you'd be like, dang, that was fruitful for you at a time. And
Right,
so we
right.
have this back and forth camaraderie and just cadence that's happening. And that's how I envision my tribe being. Like, that's how I envision what I want now in my presence. Not me necessarily like, yeah, I'm a be your biggest cheerleader, but are you cheering for me too on
Right.
my things that I need? Or when you're on your bottom, I'm not gonna crush you and be like, haha, like you said, when you're
Yeah.
depleted, they're like, haha, B, I'm glad I knew you were gonna be there. I knew you were gonna be there. But aren't you the one that's supposed to help me back up? Like, if you're really my people's, and what you said is really, it's big, it's huge. Hi, if you are enjoying the show so far, tune in and follow us and subscribe on our Patreon. Be a part of our social media Uncut Conversations and follow for some tools and journaling for exploring at this podcast when two Heriveaux heal. Yeah.
I was gonna say also, like going back to the story that I told you. So since that was the worst thing I ever did to somebody, I always made sure that I never repeated that pattern. So it's like you
Mm-hmm.
did. If ever I was around somebody's boyfriend, I would never like. There was this huge boundary. That was even before I knew what a boundary was. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, nope, I can't even see them. They can't even see me.
Right, right.
So I would keep that wall up. But I don't even know where I was going with this.
No,
But
but that's a good point because even though that happened when you were younger, which was great because then being an older age like me doing it was like, girl, you know better. But after that point, even though I started off with good intentions, then I didn't have to continue with good intentions. I didn't want to present as being attractive to any man. Like that was not mine and that was like in my vicinity. I literally had clear boundaries that even if I am in a muumuu or like a big sweatshirt, I still can not trigger, but I could still
You can pull
entice
them.
people. Right. I would still
Yes.
entice people. So I don't sign up for that. Like, unless a dude is really clear to try to come to me, or I'm literally coming to them knowing that they're single or no attachments like that, I put that boundary too after. I was like, oh,
So that goes into us shrinking ourselves. So how does that make you feel when you feel like you have to shrink yourself in order to coexist with people?
well, I felt bad because I lost a good friendship that I really admired, and low key I was in love with her, so that's tea there. Um and I knew that I was like, I never wanted somebody to dictate me to get out of my real choice. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
after that point, I was like, oh hell no. If I'm gonna make a real bad choice, I want it to be 100% my choice
Yes,
and
yes.
not influenced by somebody just using me as their pawn.
Mhm.
I was their pawn. And at
Yeah.
that time too, I was hurt because I was getting divorced, or in that period of time I was becoming single. So I was a man eater, and throughout my life I've been a man eater because I've had daddy issues. We'll talk
Same.
about that whenever that comes up, but
Yeah.
um I just had really bad relationships with men,
Mhm.
and I'm either using my sexuality to I'm trying to process this now. I use my sexuality when dudes come through, see if I'm gonna get you, and to then spit your blood. That's not
Mm.
healthy.
You take them
Because
as a challenge.
I take them as a challenge. Because I'm like, ha ha ha, you're just visually enticed, but can you handle when you get that? What you gonna do? And then I'm
Yeah.
like, spit you out.
Literally, yes.
But that is
Can
not
relate.
healthy. That's not healthy.
Yes. Yeah, no, I feel I don't know if it's in our blood or if it's a link between you and
It
I,
is.
but like pulling people that aren't even worth being pulled. But like everybody's just so attracted to our energy. And it's like, okay, I like presenting that energy, but I started to shrink myself because
Right.
it's like pointless to pull these people because I don't want anything from them. And this is before I even knew that, like, I'm gay. And somebody said the funniest thing, like, they said they're a non practicing lesbian. And I'm like, yeah,
Yep, yep, it's
because
like
my
period.
soulmate is Mother Nature.
You're like, I'm so speaking of that, you're coming out, is what you're
Yeah,
saying. Yes.
yeah,
So
yes.
for me, not necessarily that I came out, um, because I don't like boxing myself for people either. I'm learning that too. I'm like, if I don't have a title for myself, I don't want no one else to have a title for me.
Mhm,
And
right.
I do know that I like women.
Hmm.
I think they're beautiful, and I've had sexual relationships with women, but I've never been in a relationship with a
Right. Me
woman.
either.
Um, but that being said, I would consider myself bi, but I'm still hetero because I am very much attracted to having a male dominant entity around me because I'm always masculine. Like I'm that boy, girl.
Plus, you're a Virgo, so you're always planning things.
Right. And I'm always taking the lead. So I like to be dominated.
Hmm.
When I trust you and, yeah, when I trust you, I'm going to allow you to take over. But if not, I'm I'm gonna be the aggressor, and I don't. So my the future self that I'm like seeing now is, I want to be the soft girl, and maybe this season is my partner as a male, just because that has been my default, and I know that I am attracted to men more, but I do
Okay.
find women beautiful, and I
So
do like a good time.
good time will be
Will be
had.
had. Only you know.
What helped me come out like last year, well, the year before that, 2 years ago. But there's this document online called the Lesbian Master Doc. It's like a master document.
Okay.
You can pull it up on Google. But like they have all these definitions and it's kind of like a questionnaire in a kind of way. But one definition that they had, there's something called compet, which is compulsory heterosexuality. So it's like, do you feel like you always have to be in a
Mm,
relationship with a man or
mm,
only in a relationship with the man? And I'm like, yeah,
mm.
because I was always dating, but it
Interesting.
was like always a man for no reason. And it's like I always knew that I like girls. Like I like myself, so of course I like girls. But I didn't give
Know that it
myself
wasn't a
permission to
sexual.
date them. No,
Hmm.
like I've had relationships with girls, like sexual
Okay.
relationships, not like romantic relationships. So it's like I knew I was pretty solid in the fact that I like girls,
Like that. Right.
but I never gave myself permission to like go on a date with a girl or to come out in that kind of way because I always put that romantic energy on men.
I got that. No, that makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Because you can get dominated by a woman too.
No, I was gonna say
There's so many
too,
different
like
types of
obviously, but you know what's so funny?
women.
So funny, but not so funny. When I, even in like sexual engagement with women, I will tend to be the masculine.
Oh,
So
yes.
that is probably why I know that I want that dominant,
Mhm.
because it just happens that I lead that way.
And you're Haitian.
Because I'm a Haitian.
You're dominant.
Haitian, we're just dominant. But like, you get your ass
Call
over
it a
here.
dom femme. You're a dominant femme.
Yeah, that part. I can't. But yeah. So that being said, I feel like when the LGBTQA, like we keep adding letters and labels and boxes, I don't sign up to it, because literally it's still conforming you into something. Like even me, even, when I have my partner, if we choose to, I'm hoping that we could choose a time that we can invite this, if it is healthy enough to do so. I mean, past experience, I say that I would never share, but if I'm with my partner that is really gonna be my partner,
Mhm.
that will be low key our thing.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna eliminate it and feel bad about it, but I don't want to be labeled like, oh, just bisexual only, because it's more. Like, I feel like Heriveaux, and just saying between the two of us, there's this energy of openness and freedom, and this
Right, right.
live
Free
life,
love.
free love, right? And whether your age or gender, like we naturally have this Care Bear open heart to just love. So
Yes.
people just come and you're like, I just want to love, 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 love. You get the love however it comes. Get the love how it comes. And that's what I feel like I fall into. I'm like, I'm gonna get the love wherever it comes.
Yeah.
And I really felt guilty about that, because being raised a Christian and in the church, that doesn't sign up, and it's not the same.
Mhm, mhm.
But as obviously, learning myself, and your character versus who you like and love, they don't sit the same. Like
Mhm,
they're not the same apple. They're apples and oranges. They're very
mhm.
different. You're not comparable. And so I realized I'm a lover, and if I'm in that space to just choose a woman, then I will. But at this moment, I love men, so I want to honor that as well. But I don't want to be boxed. I don't want people to judge me on how I choose to live my lifestyle, unless you're judging me on if I'm going outside to kill and murder people.
Oh my god, that is so extreme, but yeah.
Right, but that's the only way I want you to judge me, if I'm like menace to society.
Mhm.
But if I'm minding my business and trying to figure out how I could love,
Yes,
I don't
because
need
love is
you.
love.
Love is love. Love is
Yes,
love. So there's no debate on how you receive the love, whether it's from the same sex or not. But I'm just saying, when you love someone, you're gonna be happier and do things in a pattern that just light the whole room. So it doesn't really
yes.
matter in that level. But
So
that's
I do want to say that there's a time, a space, and a place for everything. So you will find it. Like
yeah.
there's
And
a
I'm
space
you have
for
to be
you.
ready too and want it. Like you
Yeah,
said about manifesting,
yeah,
um, being able to call it in for the time that your body and your heart is ready to receive it, however that looks.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I've also heard this example, like you can be a you don't have to have an all or nothing kind of point of view. So it's like people can be a vegan but choose bacon. Like be a vegan and bacon. So it's like you can be heterosexual and like threesomes or whatever. Like
Right, right, right,
you don't
right,
have to
right,
choose. It doesn't have to be black or white thinking.
right, right. And it's so funny is that the non-serious man that I used to date would be like, oh, want to introduce that part. But I'm like, no, that's only when you and I are really serious and you're at a high level of understanding to balance that type of integration. Like, it wasn't like, oh, let's just party. Like, the level I'm at now wouldn't be like,
Right,
oh, let's
right.
just for curiosity and be like, oh, you like girls too. But like, no, you got to be on another level to even get that. If
Have you
that ever happened.
ever have you ever thought about being polyamorous? Now that the conversation is getting really juicy, do you want even more? Head over to our Patreon for the unfiltered conversation. Sign up at When Two Heriveaux Heal for the rest of the episode, plus bonus content. We'll see you on Patreon, Zeaux Tribe.